Welcome to Talk Show with Leader. It's fourth edition. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ame. And of course, as we do it on the show, we bring diverse people from across the country to where we bring to you men that we can point you to. There's so much that's happening on the social media space today where I just feel like we've lost it, and we're just the people that's putting ourselves on this platform out there to point to as many out there influencers to come share with us from their wealth of experience. And we're not doing less justice to this today as we'll be discussing illuminating choices. I want to believe there are three societal leaders in a person's life: father, mother, and teacher. And today I have the privilege of having a father and a teacher in the house. So I think if you want to marry them together, I think we have a set space. Now, my guest today is a lot of things, and please follow me closely. My guest is a lecturer. My guest is a father. My guest is big on teaching about this same thing called choices, because I believe we are start to finish of this drops on choice as well. And today I have the privilege of having a mentor, a father, and somebody over the years have been on this same business of being in the camera space, in the media space, training hundreds nearly every year, over a decade today. And of course today, on Talk Show with Leader, I have the privilege of having an amazing producer. He's an actor. He's a lecturer that in one of the prestigious universities across West Africa, Madugu University. He's a lecturer under the art department. And today I have the privilege of having Sir David Oyinane Madugu. You're welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Now, hey guys, please give it up. It's a lot to have him on my show. Now, sir, I want to thank you especially. You had my first edition when I wanted to do this. And I remember coming into your office and you said some things to me. I remember when I wanted to start my brand, Can I go on? Okay. I remember when I wanted to start my brand, you're one of the few people I reached out to, and I said, sir, I wanted to do this. Although, of course, just one podcast. But then, in the last minute, you were able to still come through, and you're among those people. I remember you saying, this time I'll have been here. If probably you were maybe choosing two rare space, and then it's been nearly a year now, sir. How is life with you, sir?
Well, life with me is fine. Thank God. To God be the glory.
Sir, you're one amazing person. I think one time, when I posted your pictures, from my first edition, and then everybody, I think I had more DMs, and everybody was like, why didn't I set up? So guys, I brought Sir Dave on the show now, so you can now subscribe and follow my stuff that I'm doing. Sir, talking about illuminating choices. The one person I've come, I was in your office very recently. Choices. I know, of course, you guys are in that place, institution, where you see thousands of young people every day. There's a recent trend right now, wrong trend though. There's a young man in the city of Zaria that just committed suicide 3 days ago, burning himself to death. And then that brought to the young man in Mali, HND1 mass comm student, that also ended his life. What's happening, sir? From your wealth of experience, choices. What's with this young man that even has I think 14, 15-year-old boy, and still thinking that, okay, suicide is an option. I want to maybe escape from, and then coming to the point where that person takes his life.
Okay, you see, there is this school of thought on Azodism. The few human activities is coordinated by human choice. Whatever happens to a human is by human choices, their own doing. And so they feel that the best way to go off a situation that is not able to withstand, that someone not able to withstand, is to just exit the world. And then exiting the world meaning you commit suicide. So they feel that's the best way to escape the reality of life. But again, there are choices that you can make that will make you a better person, even in the deepest situation that you find yourself. Most times we don't speak out, we don't share, not because you don't want to, because the environment has caged the person, and then people dwell so much on what the next person will say, and so they fail to keep it inside, and then keeping it inside, you destroy yourself, because you might not be able to manage the psychological effect, the mental effect, and then the mental effect keeps growing from depression, all these things, traumatic elements, and then when you don't share, introvert. So the situation around create another person in these young people, and then they become introverts, they become self-keeping thoughts, and then they feel the best escape way from the present reality is to just go off this world. That after all, if I die, who you go affect? Who go miss me? So that's the ideology behind it. And
But
so
what brings about that? Because for me, I think for every, even though it's not a cultural thing, we believe that we blacks, the blacks cannot be depressed. Suicide is not a common thing in Nigeria. It's very rare until very recently. It only happened in the whites community.
don't forget that we have pop culture. We have several channels where these young people gain, see, and learn things. Society is evolving.
Yeah.
Society is changing. And then, yes, they say African man can withstand hardship. Yes, we do. But when you see videos, medias, pictures, music on a young boy having gone to himself and then shoot himself or shoot his fellow young boys or young girls, then learn from there. You see, all those things, you can't just restrict the access from these young boys. You might say you put parental control on the dish you have at home. What of his peer group? What they discuss, what they share, what they read. So these are vistas, these are channels where these young people get this knowledge, and they feel they make choice based on what they have seen or what they have heard or what is going on. Just yesterday, I read from my phone a 14-year-old girl committed suicide. Why? Because she's been bullied by her own classmates.
In Nigeria?
No, in South Africa.
Okay.
So we're talking about, and suicide is not just limited to Nigeria alone, it's worldwide. And then we're talking about a 14-year-old who gone himself. So you can see the age.
It's not 14. I think he even has a son that is 14. The son is just, I think they're among those writing wire currently. So
So you
the
see,
son.
the age is not really, but it's the situation that prompt them to commit this act. Recently, I think 2020, 2021, we had a lot of people committing suicide. You see people who climb high tension and just hold it. You see people who will jump from several story building. It was, yes. Why? Because there's a situation within their environment, and then they take decision based on that situation. Now, if a young man or a young lady who has been depressed or has been passing through a lot of challenges, and then this person has a good moral upbringing, if the decision he or she takes is around his moral upbringing, the situation won't affect how he's going to end his life. Yeah, when you see the situation like a process, that is why they say at the end of the tunnel there is a light. And then I was discussing with one of my friends. I said, must we wait till when we get to the end of the tunnel? What if we have a sledgehammer and then we make a hole around the tunnel? Of course, we can pass it. You can only do that when you have knowledge. Knowledge about yourself, your environment, when you learn to speak, when you associate yourself with something positive.
But so then, what body is responsible to control this? Do we blame the government? Is it the religious system? Because how do I wake up with all of the dreams and everything built inside of me and I just wake up one day and want to end my life because my immediate environment is not. So is the government responsible? Is it this the religious body? Is it the immediate society? Growing up, they say a child, they say if pikin spoil na papa own. There's one adage they say like that. And then gone are those times where in probably when I was born, hello guys, I'm in my 30s, hello. So and that time they say a child is for the community. Today, schools, if you beat a child today, it's in fact they have we have seen instances where they close down schools in Nigeria for disciplining a child. So who do we say is responsible for this?
You see, responsibility is cannot be ascribed to a sector. Socialization did not happen in a space with one person. It happens within a group of people. Of course, charity begins at home.
Yeah.
And I said the value. Your parents will have taught you good morals. Your religion too will have imparted good morals to you. Your peer groups, school, everybody have part to play. But when the child or the person in question is I won't say it's limited, but is not able to harness, cope with his current situation, he look for the best escape route. The parents, of course, parents do things with love and care. They used to flog us when we were younger. They used to shout. In short, we used to say, my house, my mom is the iron lady. My dad is not. And so, my mom is a tailor. Now you do anything, then once she folds that tip, you know you are in for it. That's one. Once she looks at you like this, you know what you have committed. See, those are sign language that helps train up, discipline children. Now it's not because children are not supposed to be taken care of or eat anything they see, but they tell us don't eat anything from anybody. It's a way of cautioning the child to learn to be contented with what he or she has. You understand? So when you grow up with all those principles and morals, you become a better person. You go to a society, you represent, and that is why when one or two succeed within the society, they say it's from the family of this. Now, but that person has the input of the family, the religious body that he or she belongs, the teachers who have trained him, and several other members in society. But for the person to do otherwise is for the person not being able to conform with his current situation.
What's the way out? If for an individual watching that is probably fed up with the ongoings from the government, probably this person has just lost his job, this person is in debt.
I don't want to also put so much blame on the government. You see, government is doing the best.
I think the government is responsible, not partially.
You see, well, I don't want to say yes or no, but of course, current situation, government makes policies that guide the entire nation, country, state. It trickles down, and so when the policy is not favorable to the citizens, of course, citizens react. But when government wants to make policies that will be like what we are, the removal of subsidy and all that, if they have given us a better and clearer picture of we're going to do this, but this is going to happen, but we're going to exercise patience for this long before and all. You see, we will have been able to conform to the adjustment. You see, people should learn to speak to someone they trust, and that the person again should not speak out, scold the person because the person have decided to come and open up to you and speak. There's listen, we don't judge kind of a thing. You listen. Young people want to be listened to, and then if you don't listen to them, they become introverts, and then they bottle up everything, and then it will take you more than weeks to get a single information from the person. But when you listen to these people, it will take you just hours to hear everything and then you guide them in the appropriate way they should. um, Give them proper, or link them if you don't have the opportunity to help them, and you have a channel where they can be helped, maybe counseling sessions, maybe providing little link that the person can be linked up with someone and then get a job, just something that it
Okay,
will know
but
that
then
it's not
as
the
one
dead
person
end.
that works in a very huge establishment, like a government establishment, we all know that in our own system in Nigeria, we don't have bodies that we could really talk to. If in other better nations, there are provisions in hospitals, there are private agencies across. For one, I live in the north. I'm yet to know any that I can walk into if I have any challenge, trauma, something I'm dealing with. If not, maybe probably a pastor or a religious leader.
You see, there are NGOs now that provide such services. Those NGOs are channels to other NGOs that will give assistance. And so, there's this SWAG initiative, sexual reproductive health right, something like that.
In
And
Zaire.
yes, is actually they did a collaboration with the Department of Theatre and Performing Art.
Okay.
And so, in one of their seminars or workshop that we had with them, they they have other partners with other NGOs and legal houses, that when they have situations on rape or on abuses like that, and then they take you and link you up to this. So you see, they become a channel,
Yeah.
and then because the parent might not even have the resources, but they have a partner, and then those people who have the resources collect you and then listen to you, and then they do all that, and then yes, and then they follow through to see that the person gets
Back on his feet.
yes, on his feet. So there are several NGOs like that, and then currently sick bay ABU sick bay now have this department that has to do with mental health and this thing. I think, and then the school also have guidance and counseling sessions, which I believe is up and running. These are channels that people can really talk to if they don't want to go that far. If they have someone in the family, if they feel there's an uncle they trust, the pastors, imam, all those people can really help, and then the person again will see light in the way he used to say it before.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, sir, in closing, choice. What is your like a farewell speech as to choice? I think life, it's big on start to finish. It's all about. I think wherever you are, when you look back, it's in your summation of your choices that helps makes whatever you become in life.
Yeah.
As one man that I want to believe you have come, you have had challenges and all of those. How are you able to still decide to make a choice and say, okay, this is what I want to follow through, and what has helped you so far coming to this space? And then in closing, sir, just to as many out there, not that I want to believe that there are suicidal people that are likely to come across my show, but then what can you say to that so that you can help one person out there that no, I want to, yeah, I could decide to be into fraud, but I want to do better. Fraud is not the only option. Hookup is not the only option.
You see, the choice we make have ripple effects.
Hmm.
You throw one stone into a river, and then you see in several layers of effect, meaning that those ripple effects are the people that those things are going to be affecting. You cannot really tell how far it's going to go. And so we have to think through, we have to weigh, we have to look at, if I do this, what's going to happen to 1, 2, 3, 4. If I don't do this and I do it this way, how is it going to be like that? So we need to weigh our choices to help ourselves and the people around us and the environment and the society at large, so that we can be impactful. Now, if we're in the situation where suicide, you think suicide is the last option, freeze everything. Don't think about that very situation, that very
immediate situation.
Freeze it. Let everything just freeze. Go to bed. Sleep. But say a word of prayer. God help me. Sleep. When you wake up, you see, your mind will open up to several positive ways. Now, the reason why we say suicide is option because we have programmed it, and you know, program once is there. If you don't erase it to use another program to unwrite it, it's there. And so they feel that's the only way out. That's not the only way out. And if you wait for another 24 hours, you will see that your situation is even the least, even on those people on your street. And so you just free your mind and sleep. Pray. Wake up. You see, God always does his magic things. I, for one, have taken several decisions in life. And then, as a cinematographer, as a filmmaker, there are cross points where you need to make one decision, and then you look at the people it's going to affect around. And then, before you know it, you just let that thing freeze. Don't just lock yourself, free yourself. And then the ways are going to be there. And then you see people calling in, you see people checking up on you, you see you talking to you, just take this urgent 2K.
And that solves the situation.
At that point, that start bringing hope. That start bringing a dim of light to you. And then before you know it, because choices is very important, but we have to be sure of the kind of choice we make and the people it affects, so that we do the right thing at the right time and at the right moment. Even if you're in the wrong place, make the right choice. It always set you free from whatever ripple effect is going to create afterwards.
Thank you very much, sir. And to amazing viewers, choices, it's big. So, and you see, choices, they said, as we have learned today, affects a lot more around us. So it's not just about us. There's so much that comes into it's the summation of the so many things that brings to pass all of these things. And of course, like my guest on the show said today, that choices he has this apparatus that when you begin to iron them together, it's a whole lot. Talk to somebody. There are institutions across that have set a body that you can talk to. Talk to a trusted uncle. Talk to a spiritual head. Something. Just find aid before you take that last decision. 24 hours could come and then it could be a miracle for you. You don't have to be even necessarily like a believer per se to really get to have something like this. And of course, if you want to talk to somebody on the Vision platform, I'm privileged to know the HOD of Guidance and Counseling, Federal University of Education. I've looked at a few persons that I feel okay, talk to them, which she's struggling with this idea, struggling with this choice, and somehow she had been able to come through.
Those are the channels we're talking
Please
about.
Please speak out. Don't just suicide is not the last option. Please speak to somebody. Speak out. Just know who you talk to, and I wish you all the very best. We love you, and of course, please, to our many out there, please want to have comments. We want to have, if somebody I know to have access to, of course, we'll be dropping those things. So if you push it, if you pass my power, hello, I'll just push it out there. Thank you very much, guys. We love you. Thank you very much for you.
Thank you, sir.